Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, Ponjus and Bonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Nompumelelo Riel Gunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's gonna share some nuggets on being purpose-driven. In Los Angeles, California, we have Nikki Judith Boger. In Massachusetts, we have Jessica Brothers. And in British Columbia, we have Brianna Chelong. At this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Nikki.
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Nikki J. Borger. I am originally from Germany, and now I live in Hollywood working as an actress, screenwriter, and producer.
Hello, my name is Jessica Brothers. I'm from Massachusetts, and I've always lived here, though I've moved around quite many places. And again, thank you so much for being here. I'm honored. I've been in the health and wellness industry for 17 years, and I'm really excited to share it today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me as well. I'm excited to be here. I am Brianna Charlong. I am from Dawson Creek. I have been here, I grew up here my whole life, although I was born in Alberta. And I have been in the network marketing beauty industry for 3 years now.
Amazing, amazing. So, Nikki, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming up, or maybe it's already there, who knows, in the busy highway of California, what will your billboard say?
So my billboard is obviously going to be on Santa Monica Boulevard, right in the middle of everything. And it's going to say, whatever you believe becomes your reality.
Wow, I love that.
Or alternatively, there are no limits but those in your head. Either one works, right? But I think the main point that I firmly believe in is whatever you believe is what you're going to create, which is why working on yourself, working on your mindset, your vibe, what you do, your habits is so incredibly important to get wherever you want to be in life.
Wow. I love that. How about you, Jessica? If you happen to have your own billboard in Massachusetts, what will it say?
I would definitely put mine in Boston. I think that's the only big city in Massachusetts for sure. Right. So my billboard would say, let's go for the cause. Let's work towards happiness by bringing the obesity rate of kids, teens, and adults down. Because I believe that, the question when I ask people, like, what's a goal you have? Like a cliche answer people say is, I want world peace, right? So to me, if we want a happier world, we have to make each one of us more happy about ourselves inside. And the way to do that is by taking control of ourselves. And if obesity is on the rise, I know for a fact, because I have many clients, when we don't love ourselves, we don't love other people like we should. We don't react to them the way we should. And when we do love ourselves and we do have control over ourselves, we react and create that ripple effect of positivity, which to me would create a happier world. And that's a cause I'm fighting for sure.
Wow, I love that. So how about you, Brianna? I can see your billboard coming up there, like as an entrepreneur for beauty. What will your billboard say?
Well, my billboard would definitely have to be on the Alaska Highway because that is the biggest little highway in my town here. But we are the mile zero, so I could put it there, the mile zero post, I guess. And it would say, you are beautiful, you are kind, you are smart, you are worth it. Because you should always be nice to yourself and remember those things. If you're nicer to yourself, you'll be nicer to everyone and it will be a happier world.
I love that. I love that. I actually love all of the 3 billboards. So I think mine will be the 4th billboard. Like if you're driving down the highway, it's gonna be the 4th billboard after Brianna. It's gonna be you, Nikki, you, Jessica, and you, Brianna, and then mine will be the 4th one. It's coming up soon. So our first speaker for today is gonna be Nikki Judith Boger. Nikki Judith Boger is an actress, screenwriter, and a producer representing conscious living and empowering art. She started her professional career as an international salsa dancer before performing in musical, theater, and then in film. In addition to her artistic career, she has a master's degree in political science and administration, as well as numerous certificates in coaching, NLP, energy work, and others. Born and raised on the German countryside, Nikki grew up in a very down-to-earth conservative setting. This pattern was interrupted when she discovered her joy for traveling and learning different languages. By the age of 20, she was fluent in German, English, French, Spanish, allowing her extensive stays abroad, including New Zealand, Hungary, Ecuador, France, and the US. There are no limits but those in your head. This is the tagline to Nikki's life today. Lack of 3D depth perception, asthma, and allergies couldn't keep her from pursuing a career as a musical theater actress. Her traditional family background didn't stop her from making it all the way to Hollywood. And having suffered from an abusive marriage doesn't keep her from living life from the heart. Nikki's persistence in fighting for her goals, as well as her humorous, charming way of dealing with obstacles, make her an inspirational force for a new way of living. And her long list of intense life experiences make her a highly interesting, versatile, and touching actress on screen. So, kings and queens, help me to welcome Nikki Judith Boger.
Wow, can you tell that my agent wrote this? I'm just sitting here, so yeah, well. Anyways, thank you so much for that introduction, and thank you so much for having me here today. I'm super excited to be a part. I think what I want to point out with my life story and my background is that you can come up. There's this quote in Star Wars, right? If there's a light place in the universe, I come from as far away as possible from that. That was me. And I have come a very, very long way. I've had a lot of health issues growing up. I suffered from asthma. I didn't have 3D depth perception. I was in the hospital about twice a year for having had accidents, broken something, or an asthma attack or anything. I come from a very traditional, very, very, very conservative background. Like my parents would never even go to the theater, let alone know what's in the movie theater right now or anything. But I figured that not just like what I want to do is acting where it matters, and that is Hollywood. But I also figured that I can like do that at some point. And it took me a lot of years to get there, to actually get to that mindset and then to that spot where I realized that that is actually my purpose. But as soon as I made it happen. I was able to make it happen pretty fast. And it was like everything really conspiring in my favor and everything just falling together. Now I'm here and I have an amazing life, and I'm really happy for this opportunity to share more about it, of what brought me there, because finding your purpose is so incredibly important. It's in my opinion, that's what everything starts with and ends with, and it's just the core of everything that you're doing. So again, thanks for having me here today.
Wow, no problem. Are you done with your speech, Nikki?
I am, yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
You
did
know-
you? Okay. Do you want me to talk more about purpose? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were still introducing. What makes you get out of bed in the morning? That is the question. That is the only question that matters. What makes you get up? And I'm not talking about the 11 a.m. I slept in and then I figure out what I'm going to do with my day. I'm talking about the 7 a.m. I'm awake and I want to run things, right? That is the question. That is purpose. Purpose is what gives your life meaning. It's what drives you. It's what makes you go on, even though some things suck and they're hard and you're going to fail and you're going to end up on the ground and you're going to be crying for a day or whatever in between. Purpose is that thing that keeps you going. And here's the cool thing about it. Everyone has one. Everyone has their own. And you're bound to find it eventually. There is no version in your life that you're not going to find your purpose. Question is, how long is it going to take, right? And once you do, you're going to realize that it's always been there. It's always been there as this like nagging feeling underlying this like question, this, should I quit my job, right? I actually want to be a freelance writer. Or would it be possible for me to make this career change, right? Could I actually sustain myself? All of this, there is this something that is constantly in your brain, constantly asking, constantly pushing you towards your purpose, because only you can fulfill it. Nobody else can do that. There's one thing on this planet, one thing for the entirety of mankind and every living creature on this planet that only you can do. Nobody else can do that except for you. That is your purpose. That's what you have to find. How do you do that? That's a great question, right? There is a trial and error, obviously, and it's a good one, by figuring out what you don't want to do and what does not feel right to do. You already get a lot ahead on what it is that you're ultimately going to be doing. But in my opinion, it comes down to being true to yourself. In spirituality, we would call this alignment. Alignment is like all pieces lined up on top of each other, forming like this little container or something where things can like flow through perfectly. If the pieces aren't on top of each other, something is going to flow elsewhere. It's going to get messy, right? But if you line everything up, whatever you need is going to flow through the way it should, right? That is alignment. And alignment comes from being really honest about yourself and really, really true to yourself and figuring out, this is who I am. And this would be the best expression of who I am in this life. This would be the coolest thing I can possibly think of doing in this life. That would be the most meaningful for myself, the most beneficial for myself and everybody else. That is your purpose. So you can meditate on this. You can go with trial and error. You can, what I highly recommend is actually sit in a quiet room and just let everything else go. No phone, no radio, no distractions. Just sit with yourself and you'll get there. You can do any sort of spiritual ritual you can possibly think of. There's a million ways. Ultimately, all it takes is your decision to find it and your decision to step up and to decide that you're done with playing small. You're done with victimizing yourself. And trust me, that decision is a lot harder than you think because everybody else is victimizing themselves. And the moment that you don't, you step out of that frame. The moment you step up from everybody else, you're no longer a part of the crowd, right? So that is a big decision you have to take, to actually stand in your power, in your unique, authentic power, to actually become who you were born to be, ultimately. And once you make that choice, man, things are just going to fall into place, because the universe is going to answer, right? Like, life's going to answer. The world around you is going to answer. There's going to be people bugging you because they're scared of you becoming more than they are. But there's also going to be a lot of people who will be like, this is pretty awesome, and I'm going to help you in whichever way I can. And once you do, life is going to be beyond anything you could possibly imagine what was possible for you. So it's definitely a journey and a step worth taking. So purpose, you have one, and you have your own that only you can fulfill. If you're ready, then it's time to step up now, because there's a bunch of awful stuff going on this planet, right? And we need your voice to change that. And once you decide that you're ready, it's all going to work out. So make that step. That is my speech.
It was just brief and straight to the point. Thank you so much, Nikki, for sharing such a timely message. And this message is really, really needed. You've mentioned why purpose is so important, and how to find your purpose. That's something I really appreciate about your speech. So thank you so much for sharing such a timely message.
Well, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do that, because like, the more people hear it, the easier it's going to get for everybody, right?
Yeah, thank you, Nikki. So our next speaker is going to be Jessica Brothers. Jessica Brothers is a 17-year professional in the health and wellness industry. She has been featured as a fitness and nutrition expert for over 7 years on WWLP TV 22's Mass Appeal, and she has been featured on numerous podcasts. She owns a brick and mortar gym since 2012. She has helped over 1,000 clients, and recently she launched her newest online program that helps reach the 98% of people who struggle to sustain a healthier lifestyle, and who for over 30 years hid her challenges of her own negative self-talk, body struggles, abuse, and eating addiction until now, where she speaks her story and realizes her adversity is her strength and advantage, all while being married to her best friend and greatest supporter, and raising their beautiful 6-year-old boy. So kings and queens, help me to welcome Jessica Brothers.
Thank you so much. I wish I had someone write my bio for me. That was great. I enjoyed Nikki's. That was awesome. And Nikki, thank you for your speech. There was so much there that I really related to. And purpose is everything. It really is. And once I really found my purpose, my voice, the drive, the pull, it's just, I've been asked, how do you know? Well, how do you know you're in love? It's the same thing. You just know. You know when it's your purpose, because you can speak from your heart. You don't need a script, right? And for me, I've come from such a tough background as well, to where I am today. And the biggest thing I talk about now is everything that I never used to talk about. And I used to hide from people. I was so good at wearing a mask that people who knew me 14 years ago as their trainer never knew that I hated my body. I hated my, the way I looked in my life, and that I was an overeater, addicted to food, and that I was being abused. No one knew that. And recently I asked a client who's been with me for 14 years. I asked her, I said, what do you think of me 14 years ago? She goes, I thought you were perfect. I'm like, wow, I was that good at wearing my mask, and I thought it was weak if people knew this stuff about me, that I had to be this perfect fitness trainer and have the perfect life because that's what people wanted. But as soon as I started connecting with my own heart and my own purpose in life, I realized that my story is how I connected with more people too, that my story became my advantage. It's why I can help people. I come from the wicked stepmother story. I mean, definitely had a wicked stepmother who caused a lot of the reason why I had my addiction to food. And she called me bulimic because I was super skinny. And I always thought, oh my God, people need to see me eat. So I started eating in front of everyone as much food as I could, not realizing that in my 20s, it was going to cause like the biggest depression of my life. I was going to allow people to abuse me. And it's horrific. And so many people, especially everything going on in the world right now, so many people are struggling. I mean, obesity is on the biggest rise right now. It's almost 50%, almost 50% of our country. I think it's like at 43% right now, but it's at such a high climb. And it's bringing so much unhappiness, because when we don't love ourselves, we don't know how to love anything else in our lives or appreciate anything else. And I believe like one person can make a difference. I really do. And then one of my mentors taught me this. If I love myself to the point where I'm always smiling and I turn to someone and I smile at them and make them smile, we don't know what kind of story they're going through at that moment of their day. They could have been in the worst mood of their life, going home to their family and caused havoc because they would have started yelling. But because I smiled to them, they went home and smiled. And then everyone in their family started smiling. And then everyone that they came in contact with created this huge, beautiful ripple effect. And I believe that the way we interact with ourselves makes us show up better in life to interact with other people. And that ripple effect goes far and wide beyond anything we're around to see. And so I do believe that one person really can change the world. And so what I do now is I share my story about my constant yo-yo dieting, my struggles of how I thought exercise was a way for me to lose my weight. And how many people, 98% of people right now fail at living a healthy lifestyle. 98% of people in 2 years, because the changes should be so small, in 2 years, end up back to where they started, or most likely worse off. Think about how many times you've tried like a fad diet. And then once the diet is over, A, what have you learned that you can implement in your lifestyle? And B, what's next? And how long did it take for you to drift back to your comfort zone, your comfort lifestyle? Because like Nikki said, like stepping out of that zone, of that uncomfortness, you're kind of alone. You separate yourself from people, and that's hard. When they say being at the top is lonely, like that's a piece of what they mean. But then your goal is, when you're that strength, is to show that strength and have people lead you, not necessarily leave them behind, right? We can still always love from a distance of the people we grow out of. Now, instead of being in that circle, maybe we can lead that circle. And it's up to people to make the choice whether they want to follow or not, right? That's not a choice we can make. We can only make choices for ourselves, make our best choices possible. I'm so driven every day to show up every day on my lives, in my community, for my clients, not because of me, but because I really have a whole passion that I believe it is my purpose to help people see that fixed mindset keeps us in the vicious cycle of unhappiness, that we need that growth mindset. Everything we've been taught about our health and wellness journeys, our fitness, keeps us in that vicious cycle. I teach how to get out of that, how to really view our lives, how to really implement that stuff. And I want people to truly be happy. Someone once said to me, do you know what why means? Because I always ask, what's your why? What's your driving purpose, right? To get you pulled to your goal. Because it's so easy to drift or get that goal lost in the back of your head, or it's too hard. You know what why means? What hurts you. What hurts you the most if you don't achieve it? Because don't think that doing nothing means doing nothing. That's a choice too. Staying the same is an illusion. You're either choosing to progress towards your goal or you're choosing to digress away from it. Doing nothing is a choice too. And both are hard. Staying uncomfortable and unhappy is just as hard as making a change and a choice to go for it. So I want everyone to remember that. Where are you right now? Because I speak about this 10 cents. 10 cents a day is all it takes. And we think we're staying the same because that 10 cents is such a small step, but it creates a compound effect. It does. So think about where you are. Think about your why. What's going to drive you? What is your purpose? And let it drive you too. Because like Nikki said, people right now need to hear you. They need to hear you to show up so they can show up for themselves. Awesome. That's my speech. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Jessica. Like I love it today because you guys, you're just straight to the point without going the other way around. So thank you, Jessica, for sharing such a timely message. You've mentioned that in the US, adult obesity rate stands at 42.2%, and it's really growing faster than ever before. It's almost like half of the population, really, if you look at it that way. And I thank you for standing up to be the advocate for the health and fitness. Because I've been seeing your live videos on Facebook. I'm like, girl, you are really killing it, and you are here to make a difference. So thank you so much, Jessica. So our next speaker is gonna be Brianna Chalong. Brianna Chalong is a wife to a commercial mechanic, is a stay-at-home mom of two boys, and a beauty influencer entrepreneur. She believes that we all can achieve great things in life. So, kings and queens, help me to welcome Brianna Chalong.
All right. Thank you again for letting me be on here and speak. Hopefully my kids aren't too loud for you because I do have two boys. Yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom and they are playing in the living room right now. It is early here in Dawson Creek, BC. It is 8 a.m. So they are round up and ready to go. A little bit of background on me. So I used to work your basic 8 to 4 job, and there's totally nothing wrong with that. I had bought this kit and was just going to do it as a side hustle because I sell makeup and skincare. And I was actually planning on going back to find another job and do both. But with COVID happening and my two little kids, I could not go back to work. So that's when I really switched my mindset around and kicked myself in the butt and was like, why can't I do what all these other girls are doing? Why can't I stay at home? And why can't I work a business? And why am I like, I'm totally capable and good enough. Like, why am I telling myself I'm not good enough and I can't do these things? And so I really just pivoted and totally changed my mindset. I was never a podcast girl at all. And I started listening to podcasts and working on my personal development. And that is like a huge thing. Personal development is literally a paycheck. You get paid to better yourself and grow and change. And that is like number one cool thing that I think. I just think that's the coolest thing. So for me, staying purpose driven, I'm better off in the morning. I get my stuff done in that hour in the morning. So whether you're a night owl or a nighttime person or a daytime person, you get up and you do your stuff in that hour of time. So I always get up and I make my bed and I get dressed, because if I don't have my bed made and I'm not dressed, I'm literally like lazy for the rest of the day. So I get up, I make my bed, I get dressed, I do my things in that hour in the morning when I'm most productive and awake. And then I go about throughout the rest of my day. I also have a rule that is no Sundays wasted. So on my Sundays, I plan and prep my week for whatever I'm doing, whether it's for my business, for my kids, activities, whatever it is, I am planning and prepping and doing all my stuff on Sundays. And yeah, that's really what helps me go. You do have to sacrifice a few things and find your why. But it's totally worth it in the end. Like I got rid of Netflix for a little while and a few of those things like that. But you have to figure out your why and what you want to do, because like Jessica said, you can either sit there and do nothing and that's your choice, or you can choose to do the hard things and change and become better yourself, better your family and everything. And then lastly, I will say is my goals. So when I was setting goals, I had struggled with this for a little while, because at first I was setting goals that were way too easy and I was achieving them like that. I was like, oh, this is so easy. Like I'm doing this. And then I set a harder goal that was absolutely insane and I was never going to achieve. And I got really down on myself that I didn't achieve it. And I felt bad and I felt like crap. So you want to set smart goals that are attainable, that aren't super easy to achieve, but you know you're going to achieve them. Like they have to still scare you a little bit, but they have to push you at the same time. You don't want to just achieve it right away, because then you're not going to actually feel proud of yourself and feel like you accomplished and did something. Yeah, I think that's pretty much like, and finding a support system. So my husband helps me immensely. And then I have a bunch of girls that I do Zooms with all the time. We do weekly Zooms and we just talk, not necessarily about the business, but just about life in general. And especially with COVID right now, I find that support system and just being able to talk with other girls and people really, really helps as well. And yeah, my kids are my big reason, my big reason why. And then myself, because I was a new mom with 2 babies and COVID had happened and I literally was like becoming a hermit in my house and I talked to nobody and had just sat there and didn't have a why or purpose. And it took me a while to find, but you will find it once you, it's just like love, like Jessica said, you will find it. It is out there and you just have to dig deep. And I think that's about all I have to say.
Wow, Brianna, you've mentioned how you became purpose-driven, like you just gave us the SMART goals. And the way you said it, it's really, really up to you, because at the end of the day, you'll have to achieve everything that is down there, everything that is written down there. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brianna, for sharing such a timely message. I believe that this message is really, really needed. Thank you so much. So to our viewers online, please feel free, if you have any question for any of the speakers today, please feel free to put in the chat box and we're going to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. So I am going to be the speaker right now, and I'm just going to share my bio with you before I speak.
Nonpumelelo Rial Kunene is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Les Brown International speaker. She is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Rial is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective, inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes in a seriously funny way. Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. Rial's book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. Rial Kunene wears many hats as a professional certified sales manager, CEO, strategist, certified travel counselor, trainer, esthetician, philanthropist, diplomacy protocol officer, international human rights analyst and a commissioner for OAS. Following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalm 27 and 40. Keep her to rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Riel Kunene!
Wow, enough about me, but thank you. But before I continue, I just want to double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you with a raise of hand can say that, Riel, I have never, ever complained in life. Never, ever complained in life. Seemingly, I am in the right platform here because, sometimes in life we go complaining about everything. Oh, the weather is really bad today. Traffic was worse than expected. My family drives me crazy sometimes. Oh, the movie was really disappointing, you name it. Though whining can be a way to build an inspiration, it can also keep us from acting, and it gives excuses time to procrastinate from achieving goals. One thing I've realized is that we usually complain in the wake of a negative situation. We tend to focus more on the problem than finding potential solutions. It's always much easier to complain than to find a solution. And individuals who whine on a regular basis, they're apt to have a bad health. So next time we'll find you complaining that, why do pizzas come in square boxes? Yet they're round. And funny enough, they are cut in triangles. Does that sound like you? Yeah, please write this down. Chase after success. Chase after success. The way to your success isn't always easy to discover, but you can do a lot more than you think. And none of this means that the search isn't valuable. It can be tough, yes, and there may be instances of hesitation, but learn how to have confidence in your dreams. It was Nikki who said, there are no limits but those in your head. So don't give up on your heart's desires, good people. Just recall this in case you can't find your way. You can have the drive within you to become what you really want. Can you say this after me? I can have the drive within me to become what I really want. Can you say it one more time as if you have faith in your own powerful voice? I can have the drive within me to get what I really want in life. It's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many people, they have a challenge even to say my name, but the meaning of my name in my own language, it means mother of success. So you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success at the end of the day, because the reality is your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand you are the only one who can accomplish all of your dreams. So you need to be in full control of your life. If you have a dream, just conduct yourself like you have faith in your own powerful voice. And guess what? It will echo throughout the universe. Like Brianna said, that we can all achieve great things in our life. If there is anything humankind has learned about behaviors, is that who you are and will become is 100% down to you. So never, ever, ever give up on your heart's desires. Treat every phase towards your visions as an achievement. This is about becoming more in harmony with your deeper self. You may ask me why. I'm glad you've asked that, because you cannot produce in life if you're not true to yourself. How many of you can promise that from today onwards, I'm going to be true to myself? Say I. Curveballs will continually be coming your direction, but you will see tests as opportunities to learn as you pursue your dream. As flight attendants always say that put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help could possibly go down. So fake it until you make it. They always say that fake it until you make it, as you direct your conduct of moving towards your dream and push yourself to keep moving forward. So good people, this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call because all of these amazing speakers have shed some nuggets on how to be a purpose-driven somebody. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and chase after success? How many of you, if I may ask, how many of you ever woke up like you're just not feeling it? Ever felt like you just want to throw in the towel? Feel like you just can't push yourself outside of your comfort zone? Trust me, I've been there and I've done that. Because life is filled with unpredicted twists. And from time to time, the right path isn't always clear. But letting yourself to produce over time is an essential part of life. What do I mean by this is that it's so significant to understand that disappointments are a natural part of life, and fear of achieving hides in our own intuitive. But we'll have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, good people. It's so funny. When I was in the 8th grade, I'm just going to cut this story short. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. It's so funny. That English teacher really, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with my life. And it also aligns with my destiny. For those of you who doesn't know the phoenix bird is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you today, if you're watching this, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars and show how your phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die first, experience pain, burn, before resurrection from its own ashes. You really don't have to see the whole staircase in life, but you have to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great in life. And you might have instances when you no longer have faith in your own dreams, but a key component in rising as an individual is learning to accept personal accountability. Developing a practice takes time and replication. But remember that even small habits can have an influential, increasing consequence. You should always take new habits and activities slow, which will help you to keep taking baby steps in the right direction. Because I believe that you are called for greatness, and you will go confident in the direction of your dream, trusting that God can lead you to your greatness. Honestly, our destiny is not something we can sit by and let it happen to us. But purpose is basically a series of opportunities that allow us to learn lessons and advance our awareness. It was Nelson Mandela who once said, may your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. And this message, honestly, it stirred something within me. We need to act on any given opportunity we're offered with faith. Then we will certainly accomplish any goal that we have for our life. If I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals maybe that you want to achieve in the next 6 months? I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to write this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights. Because you need to be clear about your career goals to gain guidance on professional development. I want to encourage you by letting you know that this universe that we're in, it functions rather inversely. And everything that you need doesn't come easy. So please, please, don't ever pay attention to naysayers. It was Jessica who mentioned that the 98% of people stuck in failures, the 98% of people stuck in failures of achieving health. And I appreciate you, Jessica, for being an advocate for the health and wellness. So good people, when something poses as an obstacle to you, that situation challenges you to discover the ability to press forward. Actual strength is in the hands of the one who always flourishes. And there is hope for everyone's situation. So utilize it as a marvel to step onto a better view. I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what? I've had it all today. I've had it all. From these amazing speakers, I've had it all. I'll have to make a difference within me. I'll have to make a difference to those who look at me as an inspiration, to those who trust me. But in order for you to make that difference, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. That hungry lion in the jungle, honestly, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes this way. It doesn't matter if you're the giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. They run because it's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see that lion, I'll have to run. I believe that's the mindset that we need in order for us to chase after success. Please write this down. Write this down in closing. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. If I can be honest with you, I don't know what dreams you've set for maybe the next 6 months. And I don't know what goals you've set for your future. But here's one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters. And some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences because discovering your gifts and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, who once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And he also continued that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the dreams, all the visions, all the goals, all the talents, all the skills have been buried. I don't know about you, but with me, listening to this message, it gave me sleepless nights. And I am really, really proud today to introduce Rise to Greater Heights book before you. This is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset with people, more especially in this COVID-19 pandemic. So this book has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And you can get this book for a family member or your loved one who just needs that inspiration to face the world with a positive mindset. And by the way, the legend himself, Mr. Les Brown, he wrote the foreword in this book. And I am really, really humbled by that. And you'll be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, mentorship, coaching, resilience to greatness, emotional intelligence, mental health, and many, many more topics, including successful parenting and spiritual growth. And I also have a free transformation guide. It's available on my website at www.risetogreaterheights.com. And this transformation guide, really, it can turn your fears into greater success. You know, growing up, I didn't have much because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. But I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today onwards, I, Nompumelelo Riel Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, amazing speakers. So at this moment, please feel free to share your final thoughts. And also, if you didn't mention how the viewers can be in touch with you, and if you have any freebie to offer to the audience, this is the right time to do that. So I'm just going to check if we have any questions, but you can go ahead and share your final thoughts on being purpose-driven.
Well, I think my final thought is very obvious. You've been waiting for a call to step up. This was it. And every speaker made that pretty clear. This is your call. This is the time. Step up now, because you can. And we're with you on this. If you're struggling with stuff, pretty much anything you can think of. I'm lacking confidence. I don't know how to get started. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't feel I can do that, whatever. I have a web series online on YouTube, which is called Unlimit Yourself, where I'm actually doing that transformational work with people in a way that you can do it alone. It's free. It's still running, so there's still a lot of episodes to come, but we're pretty much dealing with every big topic that is out there, starting from self-confidence to self-worth to self-love to finding your purpose and so on. So there's an episode on everything you can possibly imagine, and we do the work to change that within the show in a way that you can do it alone. It's free. Feel free to check it out. It's called Unlimit Yourself, and it's on my YouTube channel, which is Nikki J. Borger. Apart, you can find me on pretty much every social media as Nikki J. Borger. If you happen to be an executive producer who wants to invest in cool film projects or TV projects, hey, let me know as well. In any case, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you for showing up and doing this work, because I firmly believe that by doing this work, by showing up, by working on yourself, you create a better life for everybody. And I really appreciate you for doing that. So thank you, and thank you again for giving me the opportunity to speak here.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to add that a friend of mine always tells me that my story matters because I matter and I am enough. So I'm going to leave it with that. And I hope you all remember that you matter, your story matters because you matter and you are enough.
I love that, Brianna. Absolutely. Each and every one of us is enough. And that's something I struggled with for many years, is why I didn't show up to my purpose. And like Nikki said, I mean, this is your calling. There's an analogy of life starts when you're born and you hop on this bus, and this bus stops when your life is over. It doesn't stop any other time. Time is what it is. It's the only thing we cannot buy. And we have one life. There's only one unique us. And if we do not show up, love ourselves to this world, we are being selfish and depriving the world of why we came here in the first place. Do not let more time pass. Why? Why would you keep sitting in that misery or that depression or the anxiety or stress? Because your heart knows you're suppressing yourself. You're not taking action on the things that you know you're capable of, right? Time does not stop. So my program I'm offering right now, I put my handle as my name. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Jessica Brothers Life. My website is really simple, jessicabrothers.com. Right now I'm offering a free 10-day boot camp. And I just want to assure you, this boot camp is not about meal plans and exercise, okay? This is something completely different in my industry, something that makes that 98% stat reduce. It will show you another way that if you truly want your healthiest version of you yet, this is the way. I will change your mind on everything we've been taught. I guarantee that. So just reach out to me on social media, tell me you want in, because we're starting our next one within a week and a half. So you're going to want to be in that. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure being here with all you fabulous ladies. Thank you.
Wow, ladies, you know, I'm just reading the comments on YouTube. Really, it's really, really amazing. I'm going to read it. Christina is saying that, wow, thanks for sharing, Nikki. Jessica and Brianna, I know my purpose is to be a change maker. Thank you, ladies. And Dolly Dixon is that she's saying that is true. The right path isn't always clear. Yes, we have to put ourselves out of our comfort zone. So much wisdom here. Yes, we got this. It is time to rise to our greatness, rise to greater heights, resilience to greatness. Thank you so much for your for your words of wisdom, everyone. Thank you. So I believe that our audience has been really, really moved by everyone's speech here. So thank you, amazing speakers, for being with us today. Like, to spare that 1 hour from your busy schedule, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So to our viewers online, thank you so much for joining us today at risetogreaterheights.com, at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope you've been inspired, motivated, and ready to rise to greater heights. Join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Siyabonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as